Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it started. Hi guys, my name is Favor. Favor, which is a music producer and mix engineer. Yeah. You can say on the comment section where you're joining in from. I would love to know. I would love to know. I would love to know. Please indicate where you're joining in from. Thank you. It's 2 minutes after 9. I will make sure that it's a very short one. Yeah. Alright, let's sign. Okay. Alright, on today's edition, I would love to talk about winning inferiority complex as a music producer. Yeah, some of you might ask why other topics, why this one. The truth is this: thousands of music producers are talented, not just music producers, talented music producers are battling inferiority complex. They are battling it. Yeah. And truly, it's not a nice thing. It's not a nice thing. I know, inferiority complex is it's not a good one. It's not a good thing. Alright, without wasting much of our time, as I said earlier, my name is Fable, music producer, mix engineer. And by the grace of God, this is my 6th year. This is my 6th year in music production. So yeah, it's really a good one for me, and I thank God. So let's just dive right in. Generally, we want to know a lot of us know what inferiority complex is. Yeah, a lot of us might not know, but please permit me to share my own idea and share my own thoughts about inferiority complex and how to win it. So generally, let's define inferiority complex. Inferiority complex is it's an umbrella term describing chronic feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. Yes, it makes people, like the people with inferiority complex, may experience this chronic low self-esteem, self-doubt. Yeah, they feel this need to withdraw from social activities and social events. Yeah, I'm actually saying this because I've been there. I've had my own shares of insecurities, I have my own shares of inferiority complex. Yeah, so I would want to say inferiority complex is not a disease. It's not a death sentence. It's not, because it's a stage for me. It's a stage in every creative's life. Yeah, be it music producer, be you songwriter, be you an orator, be you a comedian. Yeah, even some pastors too. Yeah, even some of the good people, notable people that we look up to today. So long as you can having the need to come to a public or speak or present something in the public, or maybe even come out socially to engage in something. Yeah, a lot of us might have been there. The inferiority complex of a thing. So if you're there right now, just know that lots of us have walked that way. So you're not there alone. You've not been there alone. You're not going through alone. A lot of us has been there. So the truth is this: out of 100 and music producers, out of 100, let's say 82%, or let me say 90% of them had at a point in time battled inferiority complex. Yes, believe me. Yeah. So The truth is this, and some of them are still in it. Some of them are still in it. Some of them are still struggling with it, and some of them might say they're not going through it. They are fine that they are not going through inferiority complex. But the truth is this, or they don't have inferiority complex. The truth is this: the first stage of inferiority complex is denial. You deny that you don't have it. You deny like that you don't have it. But on the wrong loan, you understand? You find out that one has it. When you ask them this question, okay, what's up with that project you said you want to drop since January? You find out, ask them this question and then wait for their responses. So let's just dive right in. Without wasting much of our time, I'm privileged actually to share these thoughts. These are my own thoughts. You might have your own thoughts on how to go about it. I'm not a professional in psychology, because inferiority complex has to do with our psyches. So, but I'm saying from my own experience, first-hand experience. So I'm sharing this. All right, so let's dive right in. So the reason why I felt inferior years back. As I mentioned, this is my 6th year in music production. These are the reason why I felt inferior. I had this inferiority complex some years back. Okay, one of them is this. One, okay, look at how I broke it down because I want to stay on track. I wouldn't want to deviate. I made a note. I'm with a note here, and so I pointed out 5 reasons why I felt so, and then the 5 of the solutions what I worked on. So here how it goes. So number 1 is this: my fear for what those ahead of me would say. The fear of what people who are already ahead of me in music production would say. I don't know if you understand. Like, I'm not in their head. I don't know what they are thinking already, or maybe what's going on in their life. Me, I'm already building thoughts in my head. What would they think? What would they say of me? So that's number 1. That was the number 1. This made me inferior because I'm always creating thoughts, funny thoughts, creating things, like creating cage for myself. It was just more like a cage. I was just creating cage for myself. I don't know what's going on in their life. I don't know what they are thinking, but in my own head, I'm creating thoughts on what they would say. Come on, who does that? So that's number 1. So number 2, I was afraid of criticism. Yes, I was years back. I was seriously. I was afraid of more waiting these people go talk. Now the same thing, criticism. Like, I wasn't just getting it, but then it was it. I later figured out that, okay, I was afraid of criticism. But why should I be? Because, come on, that's how you grow. That's how people grow. When people criticize you, you listen to them, and then, come on, and you pick up. So that's number 2. Number 3, as a music producer, I didn't know everything in music production. So that too held me back. That too made me feel inferior because I felt everyone was just ahead of me, and I'm here not doing anything because I didn't know. There was a lot I didn't know about music production. There was a whole lot. If you're a music producer, you know the processes of making beats, recording, stacking, mixing, mastering. So the processes, I didn't know everything. I would make a whole hell lot of mistakes. Maybe in the vocals, I will EQ the voice, like I'll EQ the hell out of a voice. Or maybe I'll drum my vocals in reverb. So there was a lot I didn't know. There was a lot. That was years back now. So there was a lot I didn't know. I was just, not like I didn't know some, but there was a lot I knew I was missing out that I didn't know. So that's number 3. These are the things that made me feel inferior. Number 1 was I like what would those ahead of me would say. That's number one. So number two, there is fear of criticism. I'm talking about, I'm using myself as an example, because I'm not a professional, I'm not a psychologist to say, okay, these are things, these are this, these are this, these are the stage, these are this. I'm using myself, what I felt. Yours might be different. You can as well maybe use the comment section and share yours, or maybe I'll send you an invite on next. We can have an episode 2, we can talk about it, and yeah, you share your own view. Yeah, they are welcomed too. So that's the number one. Was I was afraid of what those ahead of me would say, how I played this chord, how I sequenced this, how I played the bass on the song, what was the melody of the song, how did I do this, why did I find this here and why did I find that here. So that was it. So number two was criticism. What would they say? Same thing. It's almost the same thing. Yeah. So number three is I didn't know everything in music production. I hope you guys can hear me clearly, please. It really means a lot to me. Yeah. Number three was I didn't know everything in music production. So it added to my inferiority complex. So number four there is, because I was feeling inferior, I couldn't even do the little ones I know. You understand? Like, I know be olokpolo, I sabi. There are things I know. I understand music theory. I understand some things in music. But now, because I was feeling inferior, I couldn't do anything. The ones I knew, I couldn't even apply them. Why? Come on. So these are things I was going through. As I'm still using myself as an example. These are things I was going through. I was going through as an upcoming creative, you understand. So that was that. Number one is I didn't know what those ahead of me would say. Number two, fear of criticism. Number three, I didn't know everything in music production. Number four, because I was feeling inferior, I couldn't even do anything, which made it worse, which made it more worse. The ones where I know say asabi, I can't even apply them because I did doubt to myself. This low self-esteem was just there, but it was drowning me. Yeah. So, and number five was this: everything must be perfect. I hope you guys are jotting. Please forgive me. I hope you guys are jotting. Maybe you can still remind and yeah, take it back and forth. If you're just joining now, please like my page. I would want to please advocate. Please like my page and follow me so that you will know. Click on the notification button so that when I'm online or have another episode of something to say, you'll be notified. This is going out to everybody, all my friends, family, and also friends, music producers. Yeah. So let's continue. So please like my page, follow, comment, share, invite someone. Maybe your music producer friend, invite them. Yeah, because I'll be talking about a lot of things. Yeah. So, but today we are just mainly focusing on winning inferiority complex as a music producer. Yeah. So number 5 has it there. Everything must be perfect. Come on. How? Everything must be perfect. How must it be? How should it be? But I figured out that these were things that was holding me back as a music producer. As I stated earlier, inferiority complex is not a disease. It's a stage in every creative's life. You come through it, you go through it. If you're really, really willing, you get over it, you pass it, you graduate, yeah, you fly. Hello? Yeah, so that's it. Let's continue. So those are the 5 things that held me back. 5 things that made me feel inferior as a music producer. Yeah, so now these are the 5 things, because I promised I'm with a note here, so I want to make this as short as possible, as short as possible. So these are the other things that made how I worked on them, which is number one, I found out that those that were ahead of me had their lives to live. They had things to work on as well. They had their worries, they had their insecurities. They didn't even have time to judge me or say something. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, because number one, the reasons why I was feeling inferior was because I didn't know the fear of what those ahead of me would say. Now I figured out that those ahead of me were not even, they don't even send me, they don't send my papa. They too had their things to do, they had dreams to achieve, they have a whole lot of things to do. Yeah, let me say about music producers. They had things to worry about, they had mixes to deliver, they had jobs, they had deals to secure. So me, I was there caging up myself, and they were there winning. Come on. So number two, there, how I started working on it and what got me free from inferiority complex is two, I had open mind. I became open-minded about criticism. Yeah, I stopped being afraid of criticism. I stopped being scared. More criticize me, you no go kill me. It will only make me better. Anybody where they fear criticism, know they will actually grow, because your criticism is more like a feedback. Yeah, those in the management, those in the offices, and those in the services knows that when you render a service to someone, you would ask them for their feedback. So they will criticize, they will tell you, okay, look at this, I think you should work on this, come on. So I now had open mind. I started having open mind about criticism. So what I would do, I'll ask for your feedback. When I ask for your feedback, they tell me what they think, and then I'll go home and work on it. I hope you guys can hear me clearly. Please, this means it would be it won't be nice that I've been saying all this and you guys can't hear me. It will be very wrong. It will be very wrong. I don't know, it will be very wrong. Really wrong. It will be very wrong. Yeah, so okay. Alright, I'll continue so I won't waste much of our time. So number two, I now started having open mind about criticism. Yeah, I started working on that. I started listening to feedbacks. I call it feedback. I started listening to feedback. So number three there, okay, the first one was reasons why I had inferiority complex. The first one was fear of what those ahead of me would say. Now how I started working on it, I found out that those ahead of me were not concerned, because they had their life to live, they had things to worry about rather than checking out what favor is doing. Come on. So that's it. So number three on how I started working on it and how I got out of inferiority complex is this: I went back to take lessons. I traveled to learn. I paid to learn, because there was a whole lot I didn't know. About music production. Because fine, okay, I figured out that those ahead of me even had things to teach me when I was being worried, because they've been there, you understand, they've been through this, they've gone there, do you understand? So, and I realized, instead of being worried about what they would think about and what they would say about, I went to them to learn. I paid to learn. I traveled to meet them to learn. That's it. That it's not a rocket science. It's not actually. It's not. So I paid, I learned, I took lessons, I still take lessons. So that was how that's just it. Okay, number four on how I got out of inferiority complex. Number four, I started applying the little ones I know. I stopped being afraid. I started applying the little ones I know. They helped me to gain confidence. The little one I knew, I applied it perfectly. I make sure I perfected it. I played it well. I arranged it well in music production. Yeah, I arranged and sequenced it perfectly and make sure everything was fine. The little one I knew, I started applying them. Yeah, started gaining confidence. Okay, now what I did also was, I have a friend in Russia, so I now he teaches. He's a mix engineer as well, so he teaches. So what I usually do after a project, I send him a copy. I tell him, sir, please listen to this, give me your honest feedback. So he will tell me and I will go with it. And also Mavi Music helped me a lot. He did help me because there are times I would send him stuffs. He would genuinely tell me, okay, see, look at this, work on this, do this and do that. That was how I got off Inferiority Complex. So shout out to Mavi Music, shout out to Alice Heminov. Both of them, they really helped my career as a mix engineer and as a music producer. So shout out to them. God bless them. I love you guys.